We're fighting this war for our brain. It's not just about money. I say to you, it's time for you to undevelop, personally undevelop these old stories. We're fighting this war for our brain. You don't need more. You don't need more software. You got to work on your hardware. Hardware is you telling yourself some. Good morning, everybody. You're the most amazing creation on the planet. That's a little bit of a smooth mix. We're in a war for our brain. Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing amazing. Find that music. Where is it at? Over here. There we go. All right. Hey, listen, we're going to continue our conversation on profit levers. Today, we're going to have a little bit of a quick conversation on the marketing profit levers that you would want to pull if you're going to, not convince, if you're going to help somebody understand they can do what they want to do. See, profit levers aren't just for us. They are profitable for us. They should be profitable if you're marketing your program, your skills, your talents, your services, your side hustle, your side gig. If you are marketing something, professional sales, the idea of professional sales is to sell something to somebody that they need, right? There's a lot of people who buy stuff they want, right? They want the iPhone 72. Doesn't necessarily create them profit, does it? This is about creating profit in people's lives. And when you understand the profit levers you can pull, the challenge is sometimes we're not so cool, we're not so signal oriented, we're not authentic about our profit lever, that we wind up creating and having them pull their protection lever. And their protection lever is what we would call objection. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest challenge we have, is we have to deal with objections. Well, they're not really objections. They're deciding that they want to protect what it is they want. They've been down the road of being talked to and told what to do, that people like to protect themselves. Isn't that true? You like to protect yourselves. You've come up with some ways to get people off the phone or to tell people no. That wasn't a flat out no. It was a way for you to protect yourself. So this past Saturday, we had a conversation about marketing profit levers and how to speak curiosity, create safety, right? And cut through the noise so people can notice you. Today, we're going to talk about the next step about engagement profit levers. How do we engage somebody and still continue the idea of profit, still continue the idea of creating income, of them receiving value? Because here's the reality. Attention isn't enough. Attention isn't enough. How many of us have had people say they wanted to be a part of what we're doing, and then they didn't move to the next step? So it's what you do once someone has your attention, someone has gained an affinity towards you, and you've got their attention, is to determine whether they lean in or drift away. If you could have somebody, if you could create a marketing plan, if you could create a messaging system so somebody would lean in versus lean away, that's what this is about. That's what engagement levers are. So just as before, profit levers are prospects are looking at these. How do I create an income? What's in it for me? WIIFM, right? What's in it for me? Can I do this? Can I create some income? Can I have a good story? Those are the profit levers that they're looking to switch. What's going to be the big challenge here, and the challenge of the protection levers gets stronger as you move through the four areas, right? The next is presentation, and then follow up and continuation, right? Those are the two other marketing areas. So this is we're number 2 now. The other 3 is presentation. We haven't got to the presentation yet. See, if we don't set up all of these first marketing levers, these first areas, these first profit levers, if we don't get them pulled, we're taking them into the next area with their protection levers, aka objections, already fully in charge. Is that makes sense, right? When somebody says, "Oh my God, I want to do this. I need to do this. This would be so cool to do this," and then they say, "I ain't got no time. I ain't got no money." And listen, those might be valid responses. Awesome. Great. Then you do your follow-up and you go through that. So what I want to share with you today is that I'll show you the 5 engagement profit levers as it relates to keeping somebody, getting somebody to start to interact with you back and forth, right? Where are my glasses at? Here they are. So the first engagement lever is the personalization lever. And the psychology behind that is the human brain lights up when it hears its own name or sees itself reflected. Personalization signals care and belonging. When you DM somebody, do you use their name? Well, they know their name. Why should I use their name? For psychological reasons. Understanding what it does inside of the brain, understanding how it triggers them. It really, right? Who was it? Earl Nightingale? I think it was Earl Nightingale. Maybe it was Dale Carnegie, off the top of my head. Said the most beautiful sound to somebody is the sound of their own name. Even when they read their own name, it does something inside of their brain. So if you don't pull this engagement profit lever, this personalization, they will activate the safety protection lever. And lever, I'm talking literally about a switch you would pull. Are they using this authentically, or am I being targeted? How many of you have ever felt something like that when you saw a message come to you? Right? When you got a DM that showed up and you're like, "Oh, okay," but that it looks like it's formatted. It looks like it's general. Is this authentic, or is this just something that they've put in place? Right? If it has your name and then space and starts the process, that's pulled, right? It did this autofill of the name. You're like, oh, I don't know if this is too personal. So how do you shift that path? How do you shift that path so that you can maintain the personalization lever? Well, you use some genuine details. This is where I teach people, go look at their website, go look at their Facebook page, their Instagram page. Use genuine details, not gimmicks. Ask questions about them before sharing about you. Hey, I noticed your picture on the back of the yacht. Tell me more about that trip. Well, I don't care about their trip. I want to sell them my program. How's that working for you? How's that working for you? That's all I'd ask you is, how's that working for you? Well, it's not working so good. Then you might want to shift something. Yeah, but I was just told you be blunt, be forward, and just go, sift through them. Some people are going to say no. Well, a lot of people are going to say no. So just for the engagement lever of personalization, that's one, make it personalized. So that's number 1. Number 2, the micro commitment lever, right? This is about engagement. First, yesterday or Saturday, we did it was marketing. Today, it's about engagement. And so the next one is the micro commitment lever. Small yeses trigger a commitment bias. A commitment bias, are they biased to getting started with you? Each step makes the next step easier. Does that make sense? And if you answered yes or nodded your head, that was a micro commitment lever I just pulled. Oh my God, you do that all the time. I do. So if you do not have the authenticity, if you do not have the agreement and them being okay with you pulling these profit levers, if they don't see how it's beneficial to them, what could get activated here is, again, the delay protection lever. If I say yes, I'll be trapped into something bigger. Doesn't that make sense? So the shift is frame it as optional, low stakes. Nothing, they're not buying the house yet. They're just seeing if the mailbox is the right color, right? Just something small as it relates to the overall process and project. Respect no as much as a yes. See, there's a lot of people who say, hey, you said you were going to get started. Yes, I was. Well, when are you going to get started? Well, I'll get started as soon as funds are available or this unexpected emergency that happened in my life. Yeah, but come on, you don't delay. And now you're forcing them to activate bigger and bigger protection levers. And then you get mad, and doesn't work that way. Shouldn't work that way. So the path is to shift from frame it as optional and low stakes. Don't make it a big thing. They say they can't do it. Awesome. Why are you beating a dead horse? If they can't do it, that's their decision. You can't convince them. Even if you do convince them, they're going to quit anyways. So you got to say, okay, let me know when you're ready. The key is, one of the keys that I was taught is, if you put people on your calendar, they have to do something to stay on your calendar. And when I say, if you put people on your calendar, if you are reaching out to people, you are putting them on your calendar. You are making them a priority. And if they don't see the value of being on your calendar and they decide to delay or postpone or do whatever it is they need to do, they have to work to get back on your calendar, period, end of story. Awesome. Here's my schedule. Let me know when you're ready. Is it okay to check in with you from time to time? So checking in is non-threatening. But that's the key with micro commitments. If they say yes to checking in, okay, you got a micro commitment. You start from there. And what it means is that you didn't qualify them in the beginning. Do you have time? Do you have money? If those are the excuses you're getting, why would you ever give a presentation if that's what you're going to wind up with at the end of the conversation? But I know they have money. I know they have time. Then you must do a better job at offering them ways to invest their time and money so that it makes sense for them. It's not rocket surgery. It's understanding the basics of humanity. Okay, let's keep going. So number one was the personalization lever. Number two is the micro commitment lever. Number three is the storytelling lever. This is the one that 80% of the people never pull. They never get to this lever. They don't even know this lever exists. Stories bypass skepticism and engage emotion. We know that people buy on emotion, right? They cancel with logic. So if you tell a story, it bypasses skepticism, it engages emotion, and mirror neurons let the listener feel the experience. Because now it's not you being a threat to me. I'm hearing the story of somebody else who's benefiting from this, and I'd like to put myself into that story. This is key. This is critical to understand. This is one of the most powerful profit levers you could ever pull. Because if you don't pull this lever, the absolute protection lever, the objection, the protection that they're going to do is they're going to say, their story is not my story. And so that's the skepticism lever. That's the protection lever that gets pulled. I'm a skeptic about this. Yeah, well, that works for them, doesn't work for me. You're done. You're done. You've got a long way to go to get them back to think, okay, this could be for me. So when you tell a story, the story has to be personalized to them, even though they may, listen, you may be talking to a banker and you tell the story about a baker. They sound the same. They sound close. A banker and a baker, but they're two different realities in the world. A banker never sees himself as a baker, as somebody who works in making donuts. Yet you can tell a story because the goal is the same, for them to want more, right? The banker wants more for his family. The baker wanted more for his family. And you tell the story based upon the want for more, so that they don't go, well, I'm not a baker. I don't know if I could ever use the product. I'm not a shoemaker. I'm not a horse person. I don't have horses. I don't know how this product would work for me. I have sheep. You're making it too specific and not generalized to the particular desire, want, or wish. You're not personalizing the storytelling to the person you're talking to. So the way you shift it is you tell short, relatable stories tied to their world, right? A baker and a banker are not the same kind of individual. They do different things. But if you tie it to their world of wanting more, then you can tell any story. So I worked with someone who had exactly the same experience you have, the way that you've just described it. What happened for them was, right, as an example, somebody wanted to get well. You know, anybody who comes to you that wants to get well, that wants to have better, it doesn't matter if it's a cold or if it's the flu or if it's cancer. Everybody wants their health back. Oh, well, they're not the same. Oh, I get they're not the same. 100% get that they are not the same. What is exactly the same is they want to get healthy again. They want to be able to do the things they loved again. So if I was telling the story to somebody who was dealing with weight issues about somebody who maybe I helped with diabetes, I would say, hey, listen, the cause of the diagnosis of the disease is different, but the operation, the conversation is all about getting well. And I help them get well, and I help them get well, and I help them get well. Would you like to get well? I have enough stories, enough proof of people getting well around me. Do you have stories of proof of people getting wealthy around you? Do you have stories of proof of people paying their bills because they've got an extra side income from being around you? If I hang around with you, what am I going to get? What's the story I'm going to tell? Do you ever think of it that way? You hang around me, you are going to have more of what you want and less of what you don't. If you continue to hang around me, you can go at any time. You're not locked in here. You leave, what you want is going to slip away. Not because of who I am, because of how you were going to get distracted. I'm just a distraction-proof kind of conversation. So the first lever was, again, this is an engagement. Keep going here. Otherwise, I'll get off on tangents. Personalization lever, right? Micro commitment lever. Number 3, storytelling lever. Here's number 4, the reciprocity lever. You've heard me talk about reciprocity a lot. The forced law of reciprocity. So here's this profit psychology. Giving first, giving value first activates reciprocity principles. The brain naturally wants to balance the exchange. If I say good morning, you'll say good morning. If I nod, you'll nod. Those aren't mirror neurons. That's reciprocity. Now, here's the challenge. So that's the profit lever, reciprocity lever. If we don't activate that appropriately, if you are not Just simply because you give something doesn't mean you've activated the reciprocity lever. Here's the protection that gets activated. The scarcity lever. What's the catch? Do I owe them something now? How many times have somebody came to you and you go, yeah, what do you want? Right? That was not the authentic activation of the reciprocity lever. The protection that gets activated is scarcity, self-scarcity. What's the catch? Do I owe them something now? What do they want from me? How many times have you felt that when you're working with somebody, talking to somebody? That's because they wanted to activate the reciprocity lever, but they triggered the protection lever in you called scarcity. What do they want? Does that make sense? So here's the shift. Here's how you challenge it. Here's how you channel it differently. You make generosity clean and agenda free. Do you have a tripwire? Do you offer a way for somebody to go get some information? You know, one of the things that any tripwire has, or CTA, call to action, is to gather emails. I have a signal finding, find your signal program that's got a survey with it. You can do it all without ever entering your email. I just get a notification that somebody took the survey. And I get those all day long. Somebody took the survey, survey taken, survey taken, survey taken. Who was it? I don't know. And I know the challenges, and a lot of the surveys taken, if they're taken rapidly, like first one happens at, I don't know, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then the next one happens at 10:30 again. The first time they were waiting for the what's the catch. And the catch is they're going, well, they can't be giving all this away, and they're not in the right mindset to actually go through the program. So the second time they take it is they're actually in state. And that's usually when I'll get the reach out saying somebody's going, wow, I took your program for the second time, and pretty powerful stuff. I'd like to talk to you. Outstanding. Let's set an appointment. You can get on my calendar by going to fill in the blank. Does that make sense? So the challenge is that you could be offering something so spectacular because the way marketing, because the way of the digital economy has set people's mindsets, even if your product was wildly valuable, nobody believes that you'll give a wildly valuable with no strings attached, because that's not how everybody else is. So you're going to break a pattern a little bit in their psychology. And until that pattern is broken or awakened, they're going to think you're like everybody else, which is why so we're in engagement number 4, reciprocity lever, where we've got 8 other profit levers. By the time you get to this one, they won't have the skepticism. They won't have the scarcity. They won't have the what's the catch. Because if you've triggered all of the other profit levers prior to getting to reciprocity, it's a laydown. It's a no-brainer. Oh, absolutely, I'll take your stuff. Oh, absolutely, I know there's no strings attached. You are absolutely a genuine human being. I can't believe it took me this long to meet you. That's the feelings you want to get. That's the feelings you want them to have, right? So I found a resource that might save you some time. Would you like me to send it? Listen, it doesn't always have to be an original piece of content you created. If let's say you do wellness, and you have something that is super awesome, foot baths on sale at Costco. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Foot baths on sale at Sam's. Listen, I know you come to my place to do foot baths. Mine's a little more techy, but they have these foot baths on sale at Costco for $95. People will go buy them. They'll think, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Now, the challenge with getting great Tech is sometimes we don't even use it, right? So, but can you provide them value that's not them having to write a check to you? That's the key. That's how you trigger the law of reciprocity, is give them something they can't write a check to you for. And it's not that I want them in debt to me. It's not that kind of reciprocity. So here's the last one. The timing lever. This is engagement. The timing lever. When reach out happens in a readiness window, I'll explain this in a second, defenses drop, the brain welcomes connection, and it feels aligned. So what this means, is it the right time for them? Does your marketing, does your engagement align with the timing in their life? Or are you just saying, I went to Italy, I went to Mexico, I went to Ireland, or I helped somebody with diabetes, I helped somebody with colon problems, I helped somebody with respiratory issues? Or are you saying, I helped somebody buy inventory? No, the timing lever is speaking to the 30,000-foot view of your avatars. And can you pull the lever that says, you know what, this might be the right time for me? I was looking for something like this. Now, you also have to understand, in the digital world, unless you've corralled your avatars and you're already speaking to them, the average person, when they find out you're in business or you have a product or service to offer, it's going to take 16 to 18 to 20 times for them to be exposed to seeing if you're consistent enough to provide value to me. That's what your audience is looking for. Can you provide value to me consistent enough so that if I do give you my time, if I do wind up investing with you, spending money with you, I'm not going to get burned? So the timing lever for the 2% are like, they raise their hand, they go, I'm ready to get started. Let's go. Let's light this rocket. Let's light this candle. Let's go, let's go, let's go. The other 98%, you have to be there when they raise their hand and say, I'm ready now. Now, the challenge is you may never see them raise their hand because they forget about you. Out of sight, out of mind is an absolute truth. So the challenge then becomes, how do you stay top of mind? By providing value. Have you set up the reciprocity lever? For 6 years, I know it's a long story. Most people wouldn't want to invest 6 years of their time. Now, in total time that I spent, let's see, probably 20 hours a year. So 20 times 6, 6 times 2 is 120 hours over 6 years, 120 hours, 3 weeks, 40 hours a week. Is that, or yeah, 3 times 4 is 12, 120 hours. So 3 weeks over 6 years wound up building me, allowing me to create an organization of 30,000 plus in 18 months. Was it worth it? Yeah, very much so worth it. I got to travel to Latin American countries I hadn't been to before. I got to meet a whole bunch of people who have become very dear friends that I never had before. That was because I created such a value of reciprocity that when the stuff hit the wall, I was the resource they called. They said, we got to go somewhere. You got to find us a home. Take us somewhere. Be our sponsor. And I wasn't in the business. I wasn't doing I didn't have a company I was a part of. And I became part of a company. And it all worked out, and I opened up Latin America for them, and we had 30,000 people in 18 months. It was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. That was the timing lever. Can you keep them in long enough so they can raise their hand? And the way you keep them in long enough in engagement is the reciprocity lever, is the storytelling lever. You're telling stories, is the micro commitment. Are they still in? Are they still in? Right? And the personalization lever. So those are the conversations. These aren't about getting people to talk. They're about creating a kind of space where people want to talk. Let me say that again. Going through the engagement profit levers are not to get people to talk. It's allowing an environment that gets them where they want to talk. Remember, every time you pull a profit lever, your prospect has had to do one of two things. They will activate their protection lever or they won't. That's it, period. When you pull a profit lever, their hand is on their protection lever, their objection, and if they pull it, you've got to now deal with it. And it's okay. You've got to honor them where they're at. If you can have them put their hand on the profit lever with you, then they're not going to activate their protection lever. But a lever is going to be pulled. Don't be confused. A lever is going to be confused. Sometimes two. Profit lever, and if you don't do it right, if you don't have the right syntax, you don't have the right authenticity in pulling of the profit lever, they will activate subconsciously their DMN, their default mode network inside of their brain, activates their protection lever. It's not rejection. It's a signal they care about their safety. A protection lever is not an objection. It's a signal that they care about their safety. It's not rejection to you. That's why nobody can reject me. I know they're activating their protection lever, and I've done something for them to feel unsafe. So they're not rejecting me. I made them feel unsafe, which is why I can choose to honor them and not say, why are you getting so antsy about this? Why are you saying no to this? That doesn't calm down, right? The beatings will continue till morale improves is not a good way to have a conversation. So it's a signal they care about their safety, they care about their identity, and they care about their energy. So if your signal is steady, grounded in presence, grounded with the gravity of your words and your conversation, and with the echo of your commitment, you won't panic at protections. You'll honor them. Somebody says, I don't have the money. That's just a protection lever. You saying, yes, you do, you should get started, isn't a good thing. You wouldn't say that to somebody. You just met somebody and they drove up in their Maserati. They drove up in their Bentley. And they say, well, I don't have the $200 to get started. You're like, the hell you don't? Yes, you do. That's not going to offer them any grace, any space. What they're saying is I don't think if I give you $200, I'll ever see it back. That's all. So when you are steady and your signal is clear, you don't panic at protection levers. So if you found this valuable, and this is for my friends on YouTube, if you found this valuable, you're going to want to hang out and come back and mark this page, bookmark this page, because the next thing we'll step into is the presentation levers, where the conversations turn into confident decisions. So that's what's next in the series. I'm your brain scrambling misfit, Sean Murphy. I'll see you where? At the next event. I'm going to have a conversation now with some folks for a little bit. We've got about 15 minutes for us to have a little open Q&A, dialogue, questions, comments, thoughts. For those of you in the Zoom room, and if you want to learn and join us in the Zoom for live interaction, you can go to unlearnme.live, unlearnme.live, and you'll see there's three little bubbles there at the top if you're on a web browser. If you're on your mobile, there's three little bubbles there. to go to the YouTube page, to go to a variety of things. And then just below that is the morning show, 6 a.m. conversation. Questions, comments, thoughts? I don't see any hands raised. Questions, comments, thoughts? Anybody? Would you learn what you like? AJ in the house. Good morning, AJ.
Hey, good morning, or slash afternoon. Where I'm from. Listen, this was crazy. This past 2 days, so Saturday and today, I'm definitely going to be watching those recordings again
I
because
gotta say,
this,
Saturday surprised me only because in YouTube there's
I mean,
over. I haven't checked it today. There's over 104 views,
I
which
saw
is
that.
in 24 hours. That's pretty cool. I'm like, oh yeah, baby. So we touched on something.
I
Why you
think,
replay it and replay?
I think, in my not so humble opinion, that Saturday was definitely something that you have to rewatch
Yeah.
because the amount of information there, it's just ridiculous at this point. Yeah. Anyway, I wanted to say, had some thinking, had a thinking session actually on Saturday night, so after the
Yep.
call, and I was thinking about how we talk. How do we actually talk? And what I figured is that most of the time, conversation with folks are gonna be tasteless and bland, almost. You know what I'm trying to say? It's gonna
Oh,
be,
absolutely.
they're gonna come at you, they're gonna start yapping about whatever, and then I realized that from my own perspective, from my own point of view, if they start off with that, and most people unfortunately do, and then you come on and then you start talking about all of these things that are happening in your life and all these things are aligning, and then you're just super grateful about the whole thing, and you're just super happy that you're in there in the moment, they're gonna think you're an a-hole. I mean, they're gonna think that you're just trying to gloat on them and you want to shove their misery down the throat. And then I figured, well, hold on. These levers are not only for professional sales, this is for general conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And then I figured, oh, okay. So this is why. So this is what's happening behind the scenes when folks have a certain response to the conversation. And there's the response might be negative, might be positive, or whatever happens. And that blew my mind. I was journaling for about 45 minutes that night and just kind of thinking or just developing the idea, just thinking about it. And I want to say thank you because that awareness was huge for me.
Kind of
And it
cool.
only happened, oh yeah, and it only happened after the training. So I was like, okay, wow, this just got a whole lot deeper, if you know what I'm trying to say. So
Well,
thank.
and you're welcome. And so the key is, and I received that. The key is profit is having more of what you want. We the majority of people instantly associate profit with money. I gave up on profit being money a long time ago, and I made it very self full. That profit are good things that come into my life. Some of it's money, a lot of it's psychic income, a lot of it's things that make me feel good, a lot of it is spaces that make me feel good. And when you decide that you are going to have a profitable, AKA business class conversation, you no longer have to worry about the money. The money shows up. See, the fact is that we talk about money. It's kind of like a presentation. When somebody says, "Give me the script," I'll say, "No, I won't give you the script because I can give you the perfect script that has generated millions of dollars, and you won't you won't use it because it's too simple, and then B, you can't use it because you ain't me." I've said to you many times, I've said to all of you many times, I would start a presentation after the introduction and say, how would you like to get started? I can promise you, very few of you have ever said that. And then if you did say that, you wound up going into your presentation because that's the only thing you knew. If you start your conversation with how would you like to get started, They'll give you the whole presentation, and you will respond accordingly. You will pull profit levers like crazy. Yet, because we have an agenda, what do I show them? Where do I send them? So, when you have a conversation with somebody, the same thing holds true. I may not ask that when I go see my friend. I go see Stacy, who the other farm, that the rancher that has 100+ sheep. I may not always show up at his house and say, "How would you like to get started in our conversation?" I will usually ask, his grass is cut, the dogs are out, something is different. I will point to something that's happened on his ranch that I've noticed different and let the conversation start there. So I let them begin with something fun in their life. When I do it in social media, I'll go to somebody's page. I'll literally click on somebody's page, go look at their last posts, and say, "Wow, tell me about your trip to the covered bridge in Massachusetts. Oh my gosh, that was such a fun trip." I'll find the thing that they were excited about on their page and have a dialogue about it. It's not that hard. It's just nobody wants to put in that effort. I want to get paid for my effort, and I don't want to get paid to get rejected. Many of you are paying to get rejected, and that's got that. I would offer you that should stop. so, so
That's crazy. Thank you, thank
yeah,
you, thank you.
great
By the
stuff.
way,
What'd you learn? What'd you like from all of this? Unless you had another
uh,
topic you wanted to go on to.
I'm not quite certain exactly what's everything that I learned because there's a lot. There's a lot. And
What's the biggest thing? What's the thing that's jumping out to you? Somebody who's been putting in the work for 7 months. What's now 8 months? What's something that jumped out at you at all of this? That every day you come back, you're like, oh my gosh, this is huge. After 7 months of almost daily, this is huge.
oh, Sean Gerard Murphy, if you want a testimonial, you can just ask. I'm kidding. So I'm scratching the back of my head now.
Yep. We've
What
activated the crocodile brain.
There's some crocs up in there. They're out there, that's for sure. And I'd say the biggest thing for me is that you really need to swear that you are gonna use this for good. Because as you understand this, it's I dare to say the word manipulate because you can really manipulate people into doing whatever you want them to do if you understand what this is all about. So you really must swear to use this for good because this is powerful information. And then what I realized for me personally was that it gets even more deeper if you put so the way I picture this information, I picture it actually this knowledge. I picture it as this huge laser beam I have in front of me, and it's focus, kill, destroy, or help someone. But then guess what? Then if you decide to point this laser beam back to you, and you start doing this huge introspection that, in my experience, never stops. It just goes on and on and on because you discover new levels of depth. And I remember one thing you said in the DOS when we did that in December, that a lot of people don't see change because they make lateral moves. They don't make downward moves. And I think for me, everything that we discussed so far this year and the live event that we had and the live event we will have in a couple of months, I think the biggest change in my life is that I am aware now if I make a lateral shift that it's not going to work, exactly what it is and exactly how to improve it. Because guess what? I had a challenge, quote unquote, with my routine. I wouldn't be able to go to sleep until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I would wake up at 10 or 11. I don't know about you, but if I wake up past 9, I feel as if the whole day is ruined. That's gonna sound funny to you because you wake up at like 2 o'clock in the morning or whatever. Witch on a broomstick. And guess what? And then during the weekend, this past weekend, I was like, okay, what do I know? I know that when I write something in my journal, it happens for whatever reason. I'm not curious. I'm curious to find out what the reason is. I'm not sure what it is, but I know that it happens. So when I write something in my journal, it does happen. And I said, okay, I made a change. Again, not a lateral move, but a downward move that you taught me how to do. I didn't say, you freaking idiot, blah, blah, blah. You can't even wake up at time. I said, okay, the version of me that wakes up at 10 or 11 or noon or can't fall asleep during the night or whatever, love you. However, your services are no longer required and your employment is terminated effective immediately. Okay. Then I said, okay, so I acknowledged that version. I told it to go do something else. I came back and I said, okay, what's available to me? If I wake up at 6 or 7, like I did this morning, so it's day one. If I wake up at 6 or 7, I'm going to be able to do pop, 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 pop. And then guess what? This morning I did it all. And it's 2 o'clock over here. I've already done a ton of other, 10 different things. So that's the biggest change for me. And now I understand that it's actually pulling my own levers when I do this and when I talk to myself. So that's this the 11 or 12 figure psychic income I made in the last 7 months. So thank you.
You're welcome. And what you said, and here's the challenge. The challenge is what you said was easy. The awareness was hard, but do it. Listen, I listened. You're fired. Something that doesn't work, you fired it. I love you. You can get to sit. You can still sit in the arena. You just don't get to sit up front in the VIP section. The version of me that would get me up at 6 or 7 is going to allow me to do this, 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 and this, and this, and this, and probably even more, because the combination of it is a tsunami of success that I've never done all in before noon in one day. I've done it over the course of a week. But to combine that, because now the question is, what do I do tomorrow morning? And so now the new story is, here's where the wheels can fall off the wagon very quickly, is adding that to your evidence file, creating the proof of the emotion that it's already done. Because when you said I already did it, you went, your subconscious mind went looking around for distractions. Your head literally went like this. And here it is. I got up in the morning and I got it all done before 6, before noon, and here it is 2 o'clock, and your whole body was like, no, that's not us. If you go watch the replay at that point, you will watch your whole body. It's kind of like watching the prisoner who's blinking Morse code going, save me, save me, save me, while it's reading the message going, I'm safe, I'm fine. You're behind bars and you look like crap. I'm safe and I'm behind. Save me, right? So it was interesting to see that. So I would encourage you today, tonight, to write down, I did it because I could. I did it because I wanted to. I did it, and the results surprised me. Let's see how you could surprise me tomorrow. And let your brain go to work on surprises, right? What I do well, what could I have done better, what skill or talent or resource? The skill or talent or resource you want tomorrow is, I want to do better. I want better for me and better for those in my world. I want better for me and better for those in my world. I want better for me and better for those in my world. I want better for me and better for those in my world. And watch how you wake up. Watch who comes into your life simply because of meeting you, their life is better. And tomorrow you'll say, you won't believe what happened this morning. And I'll say, really? Tell me about it. Awesome sauce.
Good stuff, Bubba.
Love it,
Thank you,
man.
thank you,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
thank you, thank you. We've got about 8 minutes left. We're going to end at the top of the hour. Anyone else? Last comments, thoughts, questions? Something quick.
Okay, since no one else is going to take it, I will.
Hey, good morning,
So,
Silka.
good morning. I still cannot seem to change my name, but maybe you've gotten used to Zoom user in your group now, so
I love it.
I will just have to leave it that way. I don't know why it will not allow me to do that, but doesn't matter. I I know what you were saying this morning is very correct about actually instead of just sliding into people's DMs and sharing your business, to look at their page and to pick something that they are excited about and give them feedback on it. Yes, it takes a lot more time, and most of us want to go fast,
Mm-hmm.
but fast is probably not the best way to go. So I
Well,
totally agree with you because
fast,
people,
fast into a brick wall is never good. Fast into
um,
a journey is okay. So this is the fastest way to continue to get to the next level. Most people want to go fast, but they die right away. I'd rather you not die in the in the dialogue.
yeah, because you don't even get a response most of
Yeah.
the time. The queen, you're so funny. I should just put that on there. The queen of, I can't read the rest. What does it
German
say?
language. The
Of
queen of
German language. Oh, I love it. I love it. Maybe one of these days you want to learn this beautiful German language yourself and embrace that so you can speak with Charles. And I think he would be really excited about that.
Wiener Schnitzel.
Wiener Schnitzel. I love Jäger Schnitzel. Have you ever
Okay.
tried that?
I have not.
You know what's different about
No.
it?
Nope.
Okay, so Wiener Schnitzel is just breaded and kind of dry most of the time.
Okay.
Jäger Schnitzel has an amazingly mushroom sauce on it.
Ooh, that sounds awesome.
Yes, yes. So if you love mushrooms and they use, oh, what are they called? The little I forget what they call, but they're really good. Yeah. So if you ever go to Germany or if you ever see Jägerschnitzel on the menu, definitely get it. It's very delicious.
So do you realize that you just pulled the reciprocity lever?
Meaning,
Meaning that you gave me tremendous value because I've had Wiener Schnitzel. Have you ever tried Jaeger Schnitzel? No, I haven't. Oh my gosh, I could learn something here. I could something that is in the realm I'm in, but that sounds even better. Do you like mushrooms? Oh, I love mushrooms. Oh, this has mushrooms on it. It has a sauce on it. I love sauce stuff, creamy stuff, whatever it is. So now all of a sudden, Jaeger Schnitzel is top of mind. And where did I learn that from? Silke Carpenter. My point is that imagine the same dialogue. Have you ever tried profitable travel? Have you ever made money from your travel? Have you ever created an income by going on group tours? Most people, whenever they think of travel, it's expense, it's expense, it's expense. It's spend money, save money. How could I save money? The switch might be, have you ever tried Wiener Schnitzel travel? Yes. Have you ever tried Jaeger Schnitzel travel? Oh, it's the one where you make money. Oh my gosh, I've never tried travel and made money. How do you do that? Tell me where you get that. So what you did is you found something I wanted. I just happened to be able to tell a story that says, my God, this is the same as your business model. You do this so well when you teach your German, when you talk about Wiener Schnitzel. Oh, I like Jäger Schnitzel. It is so much better. This one's a little dry. It's good. It's good. It's what everybody's used to. It's the name recognition. But Jaeger, if you see that, you should get that because you told me you like mushrooms and cream and you will love it. Imagine if you went from Wiener Schnitzel travel to Jaeger Schnitzel travel.
oh, I love it. That
So
is a great idea. Like I said, your brain is just so freaking amazing, and I am trying to import it somehow into mine. Maybe you can load it up on a chip. We
Okay.
can
Yes.
chip it.
Well,
Hey, that would be a huge business for you.
well, right. Elon's got that thing where they put a chip in your brain. So maybe they'll come up with one where I can
Well,
download and plug it in.
yeah, I think Elon wears many two chips sometimes. He also has the baby making chip in his brain.
Oh, yes.
15 children and counting. Is looking for more mamas
Okay.
in
Well,
case
good.
someone wants to have an Elon child on here. But I think most of the people on this, except AJ,
Well,
are
what he
older.
has is right. He's the epitome of what you practice in private, you get rewarded for in public.
As AJ would say, is kicking it.
That's it. I love it.
All
Well, there
right.
you go,
Well,
ladies and
thank you.
gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You are welcome.
Love you.
And tomorrow we'll do a presentation, and then Saturday we'll kind of do a more in-depth dive in each of those, because we only got through the marketing one. And the reason we spent 2 hours on the marketing one this past Saturday is because it's that in order to get started right, it's kind of like building a fire. If you build the fire correctly before you light the match, there's a darn good chance it'll burn and keep you warm. This is the same thing. I want you to build that fire, build that stack with the engagement, with the marketing, with the reach out in such a way that people are raising their hand going, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. And that's what the marketing section, that's why we went into so much information on that. So I love you tons. I appreciate you so very, 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 very much. I hope today brings you great joy. And we are August 3rd, is it? August 4th. Oh my goodness. August is already slipping and sliding. The doc is completed. I'll send you some videos of that, some pictures of that. So that's kind of cool. We had all the dogs out on it yesterday. They were all laying underneath the shadow of the umbrella. And Michelle and I kind of took a little nap out there. It was kind of cool. So all that being said, I love you tons. I'm your head brain training. Pull those profit lever misfits, right? Beamish. I'll see y'all where?
The next
Next
event.
event.
The next
At
event.
the next event. Somebody give me some Costa Rica.
Pura
Pura
vida.
vida.
Pura vida. We love you, Mark. And some Lydias.
Peace be with
Peace
us.
be with us.
Peace be with us all. And the queen of helping you find your profit, Jessie Lee Ward.
Boss
Lee.
Boss Lee, we love you, girl. A little white, fluffy. Gurgly, gurgly.
Gurgly,
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 gurgly.
gurgly.
All right, everybody, go have some fun today. We will see you tomorrow morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, 6 a.m. Central Time. Till then,
Love you guys.
Thank you, Sean.
bye for now.
Love you all.
Have a great day.